When Zhang Jianjun saw his son's report card, he was puzzled. He had always thought of Lu Xuanqin as someone who barely passed, but this time her grades ranked 3rd in the class, 49th in the grade, and 223rd in the city, improving by 618 places. This surprised him greatly. As a seasoned businessman, Zhang Jianjun's first reaction was to suspect Lu Xuanqin of cheating. However, Zhang Ruolai immediately explained that the school had already investigated, and there was no possibility of cheating, especially since Lu Xuanqin's Chinese essay was the only one in the city to receive a perfect score, completely ruling out any chance of cheating. Zhang Jianjun remained puzzled but admitted that he had misjudged Lu Xuanqin. Meanwhile, at home, Lu Xuanqin continued to study hard, relying on the system's mental elixirs and her newly acquired mistake book to enhance her learning. This mistake book was extremely useful, as it automatically collected any mistakes she made during study and exams, requiring her to solve them again to ensure understanding, greatly improving her study efficiency. The next morning, when Lu Xuanqin arrived at school, she noticed a significant change in her classmates' attitudes toward her. Many showed her respect, and even unfamiliar classmates greeted her. Her good friend Feng Jiejie jokingly called her a top student and asked her how she had made such rapid progress. Lu Xuanqin simply replied that as long as one works hard, grades will naturally improve. At school, the principal and several other school leaders also began paying attention to Lu Xuanqin's performance, personally coming to the classroom to observe her studying. Everyone was very curious about her dramatic progress in such a short time. The principal suggested an interview with the school newspaper, where Lu Xuanqin could share her study methods, and offered her a 1,000 yuan improvement award. Lu Xuanqin accepted the invitation and, through the system, received a reward called the Technology Shield, which piqued her curiosity. Later, Lu Xuanqin was interviewed by the school's broadcasting station, where she shared her tips for effectively managing her time, early morning runs, and maintaining a balance between physical health and academics. Her confident and composed performance left the school leaders very impressed. After the interview, Lu Xuanqin received her certificate and prize money. Back in the classroom, she put on the Technology Shield, which looked like a watch, though she wasn't sure of its exact function yet, but she was full of anticipation. Throughout this process, Lu Xuanqin not only made remarkable academic progress but also matured personally, gradually earning the respect and recognition of those around her. While the system's help was significant, it was her own efforts that enabled her rapid growth. Lu Xuanqin discovered that the system's Technology Shield could withstand 600 pounds of kinetic force, offering extremely high defense, even capable of stopping bullets, which left her astonished. She began to wonder whether the system was indicating that she might face certain dangers. However, she quickly brushed aside these thoughts and focused on improving herself. When checking her personal panel, she saw that her math and linguistics had reached level 2, while her writing had even reached level 5. At school, Lu Xuanqin's progress once again caused a stir. After the school paper was published, students discussed her turnaround in such a short time. During the school newspaper interview, she confidently stated that hard work would lead to desired results, which led some students to feel upset, believing her words were too provoking, even driving some to extreme self-motivation methods. Feng Jiejie reminded Lu Xuanqin that her words could spark controversy, but Lu Xuanqin knew this was intentional to draw attention to her grades rather than suspicions of cheating. As the school's attention on Lu Xuanqin grew, the broadcast interview made her the center of attention. The next day, she was surrounded by a group of students at the school gate, all asking how she had made such rapid progress in such a short time. At that moment, the system issued a new task, requiring her to use words to persuade the surrounding students and clear a path. Lu Xuanqin accepted the challenge, delivering a speech that skillfully shifted the conversation, making the students believe that talent and effort go hand in hand, successfully dispelling their doubts and earning her a system reward. Her speech skill leveled up to LV2. Back in the classroom, Lu Xuanqin continued to focus on her studies, no longer distracted by external discussions. The school leaders were very satisfied with her performance, particularly her outstanding academic and social abilities. The principal suggested making her a role model for all students and decided to award her a 1,000 yuan progress bonus as an incentive. Soon after, the school announced an early one-day holiday, allowing students to relax before continuing their preparation for the college entrance exams. The students in the class were thrilled by the news, and Lu Xuanqin saw it as an opportunity to take a brief rest amid her intense studies. She knew that while her progress had been rapid, only sustained effort would allow her to truly achieve her goals. 2 years after the college entrance exam, Lu Xuanqin's mother, Fan Jialing, was diagnosed with late-stage lung cancer in her past life. This weighed heavily on her mind after her rebirth. Now, with the 1,000 yuan scholarship from the school, Lu Xuanqin decided to take her parents for a medical checkup, hoping to detect any problems early and prevent the tragedy from repeating itself. At dinner, Lu Xuanqin proposed taking her parents for a checkup, but they initially refused, insisting that they were in good health and didn't need to spend the money. Lu Xuanqin emphasized that the scholarship was hers, and she had the right to decide how to use it, ultimately convincing her parents. The next morning, Lu Xuanqin took her parents to the city hospital, skillfully handling the registration and checkup process, which surprised her parents. During the lung CT scan, the doctor found a slight shadow in Fan Jialing's lung and recommended further tests. This brought a wave of sadness to Lu Xuanqin, but she suppressed her emotions, determined not to let her mother face the same fate as in the previous life, and immediately arranged for follow-up examinations. As she was about to register, a medical disturbance broke out at the hospital. A group of people dressed in mourning clothes stormed into the hospital, accusing the doctors of causing their family member's death. They were agitated, shouting insults at the medical staff. Dr. Louison tried to explain that the family had been informed of the surgical risks beforehand, but the family refused to accept the reality and continued causing trouble. As the situation escalated, one of the men pulled out a knife and charged at Louison, attempting to take revenge. At that moment, Lu Xuanqin's system issued an alert, giving her a hero mission to stop the medical disturbance and save Louison's life. The system promised that if she successfully completed the task, she would gain the Tongbei fist skill and a boost in strength. Faced with the sudden crisis, Lu Xuanqin was at a crossroads, knowing that her decision would change the fate of many people, whether she intervened in the risky situation or stood by as a bystander. Lu Xuanqin witnessed a medical dispute at the hospital where the family of a failed surgery patient became highly emotional and even threatened the doctor with a knife. At this moment, the system suddenly issued a bravery task, with a reward of Tongbei fist LV4 and plus 5 strength points. Although Lu Xuanqin hesitated, she ultimately accepted the mission. With the system's help, her physical abilities were enhanced, and she instantly mastered the techniques of Tongbei fist. When the man rushed at the doctor with a knife, she swiftly intervened, using the shield to block the blade and quickly subdued him with Tongbei fist, successfully protecting the doctor. Soon after, the hospital security arrived, and the man was restrained while Lu Xuanqin quietly left without leaving any information. The doctors and onlookers were full of admiration and surprise at the female student who had stepped forward, but she had already returned upstairs to continue accompanying her parents through their checkup. At the respiratory department, the doctor confirmed that the shadow on Fan Jialing's lungs was early-stage cancer cells, but fortunately, it was detected in time, and surgery could completely remove them without hospitalization. The surgery was successfully completed, and the family finally breathed a sigh of relief. Through this checkup, Lu Xuanqin had successfully prevented the tragedy of her mother's severe illness from her previous life. After returning home, Lu Xuanqin opened the system panel and found that her strength attribute had increased, and she had acquired several new skills, making her feel stronger. Despite this, her focus remained on her studies, determined to keep working hard to achieve her goals. Meanwhile, news of the medical dispute and Lu Xuanqin's heroic actions quickly spread, attracting media attention. Qin Lina, a well-known online commentator famous for stirring up controversy, discovered Lu Xuanqin's deeds and her essay. She decided to use this opportunity to spark a heated discussion, especially regarding the pro-Western views Lu Xuanqin mentioned in her essay. Qin Lina believed that both Lu Xuanqin's rapid improvement in exam rankings, jumping over 600 places in such a short time, and her social views would provoke controversy and bring more traffic her way. She prepared to launch an online attack, even targeting Lu Xuanqin's school, City No. 1 High School. Famous blogger Qin Lina published a post on Weibo attacking Lu Xuanqin, criticizing her essay content and accusing her of worshipping foreign countries. She also questioned the authenticity of Lu Xuanqin's leap of over 600 places in just a few days, implying that she might have cheated or been used by the school as a prop. The post quickly garnered widespread attention, with the comment section filled with criticism and skepticism towards Lu Xuanqin, pushing the topic to the top of the trending list. Despite the malicious online attacks, Lu Xuanqin was not discouraged. Her friends Feng Jiejia and Zhang Ruolai were concerned and called to remind her not to focus too much on the online comments, lest it affect her studies. However, Lu Xuanqin remained firm. She decided to handle the situation calmly and plan a strategic counterattack. She did not respond immediately but chose to wait for the right moment, planning to deliver a decisive blow to Qin Lina when the timing was right. Lu Xuanqin understood that online public opinion was like a flood, and a single misstep could drown her. However, she also knew that internet users had short memories and that public opinion could shift multiple times. Therefore, she planned to let the issue continue to ferment, waiting for the school and relevant authorities to intervene before making a precise counterattack to maximize the damage to her opponents. At the same time, City No. 1 High School's principal, LV Shuda, became aware of the online storm. His son informed him that the school had made it to the top of Weibo's trending list, which shocked and angered Principal LV. He was especially concerned about the doubts cast on Lu Xuanqin and the attacks on the school's reputation. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Principal LV knew the matter had reached a critical point and that the school's reputation was at stake. As the incident escalated, Principal LV learned more about the online backlash against Lu Xuanqin and immediately contacted her class teacher, Wang Zhonghui. He instructed her to reach out to Lu Xuanqin's family and inform them that the school would fully support her. Principal LV knew that hiding from the issue wasn't a solution, so he decided to take a proactive approach, reaching out to his contacts for help and devising a strategy to address the situation. Following the principal's instructions, Wang Zhonghui contacted Lu Xuanqin, offering gentle comfort and assuring her that the school would fully support her, advising her to focus on her studies. Faced with this wave of online harassment, Lu Xuanqin remained calm and rational. She displayed the strength she had accumulated in her previous life and was not crushed by the online attacks. Instead, she calmly planned her counterattack, deciding not to rush into defending herself but rather to wait for the issue to further develop before responding. The next morning, Lu Xuanqin met up with Zhang Ruolai on her way to school. Zhang Ruolai looked exhausted after spending the whole night defending her online. Grateful for his support, Lu Xuanqin reminded him not to worry too much, using the phrase, "let the bullet fly a little longer," to describe her calm strategy for dealing with the situation. When she arrived at school, Lu Xuanqin faced the curious gazes of her classmates but remained confident. She knew that the only way to defeat the rumors and gossip was through her own strength. During class, homeroom teacher Wang Zhonghui entered the classroom and announced that the school had decided to file a lawsuit against the online influencer, Qin Lina. This news shocked and excited the entire class. No one had expected the school to take legal action on behalf of Lu Xuanqin. This strengthened Lu Xuanqin's resolve, as the school's support provided her with a powerful backing.